in education. Got it. Thank you so much. I hope all of y'all are doing well. I know you're looking forward to Friday. My name is Dr. Vanessa Thomas. I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. I see y'all are from everywhere. I just want to thank you so much for spending your time with me on this afternoon. So we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'll share my screen. Oh, yeah. Oh, Tennessee, yes. Look at you. Awesome. There we go. All right. And my partner, Marcus Goodwin, he is assisting with dismissal. So if he hops in, I'll definitely bring him on in. So welcome again. I do have a quick icebreaker. Education, we have to have one. So in the chat, my question is, because we're talking about incentives, we're talking about rewards. What is the best incentive you have received as a student or as an adult? Put that in the chat for me. What is the best incentive or reward you have received either as a student or as an adult? I can't wait. And then Jordan, if you can read some of them out, they come up.
I sure will.
Thank you. Money, yes.
Angela went with money. Janine went with a book. Anna says getting time back. That's always a favorite for teachers. Genuine verbal praise from James. Time off for Deanna. I'm a personal big fan of just food. We give.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Yolanda. I like that lunch off campus. That's a good one.
It is. An extra 30 minutes to change your life. It will.
Mm-hmm.
It will.
Retake an assignment from Jeffrey. I bet that's a popular one too.
Thank you. You see any more?
I think that is it.
Okay. Thank y'all so much for sharing. I definitely appreciate compliments. Definitely, of course, money, but we don't have a lot of that. But yeah, any type of time off or time back, I definitely appreciate that. Thank you for sharing. So what is the purpose of an incentive system? So why are you even investing time in creating an incentive system at your school? You can put that in the chat as well. Why do you need that? Or are they able to come off mute, Jordan? Are they able to?
Not till the end, but they could drop it in the chat though.
Okay, drop that in the chat. What is the purpose of having an incentive system?
Janine says because students lack intrinsic motivation. Yes. Jeffrey says reward the good rather than punish the bad. Motivation, help students feel valued, appreciated. PBS, exclamation points. Positive motivation.
Yes. They must have looked ahead of this presentation already. They don't need these slides. That's absolutely right. Of course, we know that if we have a good system in place that will reinforce at least 80% of our student population or more. Definitely want to reward them for positive behavior, motivate them to be their best self. We want to create a positive environment with positive talk, not telling people no, and what they can't do. And then, of course, bring fun back into the school. And anytime we can find a reason to celebrate anybody is always a great thing. So thank you. Y'all are spot on. And y'all are the people that are supposed to be here today. So, of course, we have to have structure in order for anything to work. And so for our structure, we invented our house system. And are there any Harry Potter fans in the building? Any Harry Potter fans in the building? Give me a thumbs up. Throw some hearts, some emojis. Do we have any? Nobody? Okay. So there we go. Thank you, Hannah. Okay. So the way that our house system is set up is like Harry Potter. So everyone is inducted as soon as they get here. You become a grizzly bear, which is the best one. It is. Or a panda bear, a glacier bear, or a polar bear. And once you become that person, you are there for the end. It's still people in high school who can tell you what bear they are. And I'm going to show you why that's important. So again, we induct all of our students and all of our adults. That helps us with a lot of our buy-in because everyone is invested, of course, in their team and then in themselves, and they take pride in being that. When we're on Twitter, we're tweeting, hey, the Grizzlies are winning right now, and other people understand what we're talking about. So in our house system, like I said, everyone is inducted. We let them know what they are. Everyone gets a t-shirt. And they can also buy other gear as well. And then students can earn points for growling. So that means that they're good to go. That means they're prepared for class. They're also showing kindness to their friends. R's for respect. They're being respectful in their speech and their actions towards each other. Of course, they're on time to class. You know, those transitions get a little funny. So they're on time to class, and they're also on time and turning in their homework or turning in their work. They're working hard, they're participating, of course, participating in those academic conversations, they're assisting their peers, assisting their teachers, of course, completing their assignments, just doing all the things they should be doing. And then, of course, listening. So our students can earn points for all these things throughout the day with every transition from every teacher. Every staff member can go on the app to add points. We can all hop in. We all have access to it. And we also added last week, students got points for bringing back their progress reports on time. So we're allowed to, you know, add in extra buttons for special incentives. And it just helps, you know, just boost them around. They never know what they're going to get house points for. Okay, so of course in live school, it looks like this for us. And so their colors are color coded to our house system. So I know that Aaliyah, she's a glacier bear. I know that Adrian, she's a panda bear because it shows up as the color that they're in. So when they're earning those points, they're earning points from themselves, and they're also earning points from their house. So I do video announcements every day for our school, and I announce weekly who has the most points for the week. So not only are they like, okay, yeah, we got to pump it up a little bit. The pandas are struggling. Then it lets every panda know, hey, we need to step it up and we need to earn some more points. Hope that makes sense. So this is what it looked like. It's got to be a lie because, you know, the glacier bears have the most points right now. But this is a screenshot of last week of who had the most points. And again, we put flags outside, you know, who's the winner for the week. And again, they all know they're all working together to earn these points as a house. Okay. Oh, and then one more thing with that. We also have house games every quarter, and that helps out as well. So we do things like tug of war. We did faculty versus student basketball game last week. So of course they had on their house shirts. It was really competitive. Of course, our adults are actually more competitive than the kids, but of course they like seeing us do those things. And we're competing for points, and we're competing for, you know, pride and bragging rights. That's really what we're competing for. So our points, we use them as currency here at Antioch Middle School. It's just like money. So they can spend their money or their points on school supplies at Paw Mart, field trips. Instead of charging for money, sometimes teachers may charge 150 points to attend a field trip. Classroom incentives. A lot of our teachers have stores inside of their rooms. Paw Mart, and I'm gonna talk more about that. And then school-wide incentives. So if I say, hey, I'm having an ice cream party for everyone who has 1,000 points or more, I can do that. And they earn them and they save them and they look forward to that. It just gives us that individual level, the classroom level, the grade level, and then school-wide incentive program. Okay. Are there any questions so far about what I've said so far?
None yet. This sounds awesome. I'm particularly like the GROW acronym. I like that one's unique.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know that a lot of people want to know more about Paw Mart and how that's set up. So Paw Mart is our incentive store, and it's completely ran by students. You know, all of us administrators, we're running like crazy. So we really put it back on them to make sure that it's open. It's supervised by our restorative practice assistant. She's amazing. I know y'all are familiar with someone who runs the circles and the collaborative conversations. She runs that, and she also runs peer court. So she supervises it, but again, it's ran by the students. At the beginning of the year, they apply. It's a real job. They apply, they interview, and they hope to get hired. And of course, if they saw other students doing it the year before, like as a sixth grader, they want that job as well. They have name badges, they have a schedule, they have positions, and their schedules are posted on Schoology. So they know I work Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning. I don't work this week, I may work next week. And our students are paid weekly. Again, this is a real job. So they get paid 150 house points for working each week. Okay. Isn't that exciting? It's a real job. Okay, here's an example of the Paw Mart application. Okay, so it went out at the beginning of the year. We start off with 4 positions, then we realized we needed another one. So we have an account verifier, a stocker, an item distribution person, security, the line manager, and then a cashier. Okay, so account verifiers, they have the computer in front of them. Of course, it's one of the teacher computers, and they verify, do you have enough points to shop today? So if you know that you only have like 10 points, you can't afford to buy something that's 25 points today. We have the cashier, just like what it is when they have their points, they fill out their order form. They go to the cashier and they purchase their items. And they let them know, hey, this is what I want to purchase today. It's already been verified, and they put their initials there so they know they have that much money to spend. Then we have item distribution. They're the actual ones who are working the window and giving out the items. And we have stockers. They're bagging items. So we have like a lot of package deals where they can get like candy and cookies or drinks all together. So they put those things together. They make sure that the store is clean, restocked, and organized. If they need more Takis, because you know we always run out of Takis, they know where to go get it and to restock the store. Then we had to add in security or the line manager, because in the front of our Paw Mart is in the front hallway of the school. So just want to make sure that they're not, clustering around or making any type of logistical problems for the beginning of the school day. Because Paw Mart is open right at the start of the school day at 8:35 when everyone's coming in. Students know they have about 20 minutes. It's from 8:35 to 8:55. That's the only time they can shop. And about 8:52, 53, that's when we say, okay, it's the last call, and everyone else may have to wait until Wednesday. But everyone has to be in class by 8:55. Okay. Any questions about that piece?
I did have one. I love everything about that. For one, like the biggest hurdle for folks to do this is usually like, all right, how do I get somebody to run the store? Because they're teaching somewhere, or they're running around as a principal. Did you all start this way, or was this like a progression over time?
It was a progression over time. It started with adults, but then, like you said, adults realize we can't manage it. And then that your programs start to fall off when you can't do them consistently. And the people who are going to hold you accountable are the kids. Is Paw Mart open today? Why not? Things like that. We weren't. Now, they even asked us yesterday, so since we were out of school on Monday, where we're going to open up an additional day because we missed it. So we had to open up today, so again, they're holding us accountable that we said we're going to have this open every week. And that's exciting. That means they care about their points. They take it seriously, and there's value in it, and if they don't have value in it, then it's not going to work. So eventually over time, we're like, okay, we can't keep this going. And there was a big buzz a couple of years ago around student leadership, student voice and choice. And so in middle school and high school, I know they've been pushing us like constantly, like, how are you involving your students? How are they being leaders? How are they advocating for themselves? And this is the way that we're like, yes, they're working, they run it. If it's not open, it's on them. Now, of course, we take care of the purchasing, the stocking, and the buying of the materials. But as soon as I go to the store, they set it up.
I'm sure it works as an incentive for the kids who are working too, because they've got to have all those criteria to get there. And I'm sure it's something they really want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It is something they look forward to, because we have a couple of jobs. Of course, you have like newspaper and house counsel and things like that. It's another opportunity for student leadership. So
we had a good question from James in the chat. He asked, like, of the things in your store, what does this cost your school? And like, how do you fund the program? What kind of budget do you work with?
Absolutely. So I think my next slide. Okay. Yeah, I do mention a couple other things. So there are things that I spend money on, but I also do receive a lot of donations. I would say that I spend probably $200 every other month. So it's not too bad. And that's like going to Sam's, and our stuff is reasonably priced. Like they have to work up to it for a minute. They come by, they may not have enough points at first. And then they're like, okay, it takes them about a month or so, then they can start buying. And that's what actually maintains your inventory. So chips, Takis, cookies, honey buns, and even, if y'all believe it or not, the little ice waters, they really like those. I'm like, it's flavored water, but they like it. Any type of trinkets or donations we get from our Family Achieves person, we had got these little boxes with like makeup and fingernail polish. They loved it. We put a price on it, and they sold it. Another thing, which is our top seller, is actually cell phone passes, and that's just labels and ink. That's our top seller. And students can buy cell phone passes to use their phone during lunchtime. So I don't know if you're at middle school, James, or at high school, but they love that. And it's about 550 points. So it takes them a little minute to earn that. But once they got it, and then it's only for a week. So if they burn it up, they have to earn again to try to come back and get another one. So again, anything, I would say, about $200 every other month, and then donations as well.
Thanks, Vanessa. There was a question in the chat. I'll field, but I'll also let you field too. Jeffrey asked, have you ever seen this work at a high school? And I'll jump in real quick, then I'll hand it to you. I was a high school administrator before. Yes, I have seen this work in high school. And we had a customer do a event for us in December, and she was running a school store in a high school. Worked great. So yes, we have seen that work. But I'll hand that to you as well, Vanessa.
Yes, absolutely. Because what I'm finding, because I actually worked in the elementary school last year, and what I'm really finding, and I know it sounds cliche, that they are really just bigger kids. They still enjoy hot chocolate incentives, and I saw that at a high school last month. They still enjoy pizza. They still enjoy chips and Takis and candy. Like, I think they enjoy any type of downtime that they get to just be a kid and not worry about the real serious things. But so I think as long as you can even include them in on what type of items would you like to see offered in your store, I think they will be very reasonable. Again, so if you don't allow cell phone passes, I'm sure they would like that. If we're offering only healthy items in the cafeteria, then they would love the opportunity to get a honey bun from you from Paw Mart. Absolutely. So here is an example of our order form. Again, and this changes according to your inventory. So like the birch boxes, we didn't have those at first. We had the tumblers left over from like a teacher fair that we threw in there, but they were like dated for last year. They don't know that. They don't care. So anything, hot chips, Takis, anything we have, we throw it in there. And we also had staff members who have donated some things as well. And so you can see that. And again, you'll get this so you can see like the way that we're pricing things. So again, it takes them, and a student can earn about 25 points per teacher. And we kind of gauge that to see. And of course, you have to kind of monitor to see if the teachers are giving them, if they're getting like 5 here and there, but they can earn a total. If they grab the entire thing, they can earn a total from 25. So the student experience, they earn their points. They shop on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. There's one thing we're trying to troubleshoot right now is I don't know if y'all deal with late buses, but we are dealing with that a little bit more frequently now. And so those babies have spoken up and said they haven't had an opportunity to shop. And so we're trying to offer Paw Mart 2.0, which will be during lunchtime. And students will be able to come out and shop during that time. So we're going to try to pilot that and see how that works because lunchtime is already crazy enough. And so once I see how that goes, I'll get back to y'all and I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll be telling you it was successful. So they complete that order form while they're standing in line because we don't have any time to waste. And like I said, with the point verifier, they take care of that ahead of time as well. They go to the door, they give their sheet, they get their items. And then our restorative practice person, she goes back and she deducts those points at the end of the day. So we can't do it right then because people are in front of us, but she takes all those sheets and she goes and she deducts them so they see their points gone. And then it repeats again. Students begin earning back points right away. So I hope that you will see like key highlights is that it encourages student leadership, definitely student voicing choice. Like if they say that they want something else in the store, I would definitely try to get it. Student accountability, they have to earn their points. It's their responsibility to know that they're working their schedule. It's their responsibility to be on time for work because they can lose their job. They can get I didn't tell y'all this. They can get put on probation if their grades are not up, if they start to fail their classes or they get behavior referrals, we can put them on probation for a while as well. And we've had students work their way back to get their job. I meant to tell you that. Of course, Paw Mart, they look forward to it. Like I told you, they held us accountable this week because we weren't open on Monday. They look forward to it on those days. And then, of course, just any time to celebrate our kids. There's a lot going on in the world, so I'm always looking for opportunities to celebrate our kids. Okay. All right, and that is all that I have. And now I'm ready for any other questions.
Yeah, so we got a great one in the chat that this really comes up with like any kind of new program, but it's one that determines whether or not you'll be successful or not. Okay. Yolanda asked, how did you gain the buy-in from teachers?
Oh, that's such a great question, Yolanda. The induction. The induction is what honestly like kicked everything off because again, if you can, all teachers and all educators are competitive anyway. So we tie into the fact that I am a Grizzly Bear. You have meetings with your Grizzlies. We compete against each other. Anytime we have a faculty meeting or training or anything, I always do some type of competition. So that's more bonding. So that's at least once a month we're meeting. And then, like I said, we're giving them opportunities to see how we're competing against each other during the house games. Anytime you can incorporate that competition, that's more bonding for them. We did the STEM challenge and it was all the Grizzlies, working together to see how many how tall of a tower you can build with index cards. And you would have thought it was like money on the line. Like people were like trying to blow people's towers down and things like that. But those type of activities build that camaraderie and build the buy-in. And then that passes down to the students, and the students are like, okay, I'm with you. We meet with each other. We also try to incorporate it with our clubs. I try to put certain people with certain club leaders. So if you were a polar bear, I tried to let you be in a club with a polar bear. So any opportunities you can find for them to mix and mingle with each other, it just helps. It does. And then when it comes to the point system, we just let them know how easy it was to give points. And then hopefully this will take care of the majority of their classroom management. And hopefully they will write less referrals, because we know referrals do not control behavior. It's what are you doing to keep the students happy while they're in school?
So a follow-up question to that came from James, and I think it's going to be, it's part of your answer already, but he asked, what was the time commitment for teaching staff as far as the store goes, I believe?
Oh, as far as the store? Mm-hmm. Oh, that was just in the beginning of the school year PD. So it's like when we told them, this is what we're offering on our side, this is how it happens. Usually, because those in-service days when you start the school year, probably like the hour. Yeah. The hour that he gave me on those precious days to let our new staff. And then of course, if we need ongoing PD, we schedule that with our mentors as well.
Oh, he clarified actually for them to give points during class. How much time does that take?
Oh, that's like maybe 2 minutes, because you can batch your kids. So if you want to click all your kids for that class and say, hey, you were listening and you were working hard, they can do it really, really quickly. It's a little highlight, apply the points, and then it gives them to everybody. So yeah, that's really quick and easy.
So a great question from Jennifer. She asked, could a teacher create their own individual store?
Absolutely, they do. Yeah, a lot of our teachers have their own individual stores. And so that forces, I won't say forces, but that encourages our kids to even earn more points, because they want to shop at their store and they want to shop at our store too. So, a lot of teachers usually have like no homework passes or stinky feet day and things like that. So they purchase those as well. Absolutely.
So, and I'll follow up, because a lot of these questions are are PBS centric too. And yeah. I always used to tell my staff that the time you're committing to positive reinforcement is time you're saving, not having to deal with negative outcomes.
Referrals and consequences. Yeah, before they get to us. Yeah, so that's why I encourage like incentives at every level. That individual, small group incentives, classroom incentives, grade level incentives. Before you get down to the office and you have to write a referral or issue out of school suspension, we want to make sure we've tried everything to try to keep you in and keep you engaged and keep you happy. And like I said, even my grade level, they're going ice skating. Luckily, we have money in our funds that we're able to pay for that field trip, but our students have to pay 150 house points. So they're working to earn that. There's also teaching budgeting, because they have to save them. And they may get to a point where they're like, hey, I want to go on the field trip, but I want a cell phone pass, so they might have to make a decision or work really hard to make sure they're earning some more points.
So Yolanda asked, do you have a team that helps you with the reward system, like coming up with these ideas, or is it all coming from you or kids?
No, we have a cultural leadership team. Yes, we have lots of leadership teams. We have a cultural leadership team that meets once a month. And so we talk about the incentives. We talk about the grade. That's how I know what the grade levels are doing. So I know that my 6th grade team is doing a carnival this month. My 8th grade team, they're going skating. And my 7th grade team, they're going to urban air. So that's how I know what's going on, because everyone's meeting and talking about, okay, these are the things that are working. And then we also have a school dance next week. So we all know like all these different layers are happening, and these are what the students have to be doing to be able to earn their place at these events.
Love it. I got one follow-up that had to do with funding. You mentioned donations. That's I've heard that from other places. That's one of the things I did too. Like how involved are the local community? How tough was that to do?
I would say that's probably the heart of everything is, your community partners, because they help us out with everything. They're even donating with our dance. So I don't know if you have a community person or a SRT lead or Title I person who's going out to find those partners. But please, like, if you can, like, give that to someone, because I know we can't do it all, but anytime you can make a relationship with someone, and tell them your story. What is your school doing? What are y'all working on? Hey, we're working on becoming a STEAM school. You know, I have a high mobility rate in my school, or, you know, I have students, I have a high EL population. Whatever your story is to get them hooked into what you need, please go tell your story, tweet about your story, write about your story. And I promise you, they want to work with you. They want to feel like they're giving back to the community. They want to come into the building. So we do tell them our doors are open. We have mentorship opportunities. We need donations. We always have something going on. If anything, they can donate some cookies or some pizza or something. So I would definitely encourage you to work on your community partners.
Yeah, I'll second that. From years as a PBS coach, and I was an athletic coach for a long time too. And you hate asking people for things, but like a lot of times they're waiting for somebody to ask because they want to help. They want to be involved in their school. Like that's something a lot of folks would like to do.
Absolutely.
So we got just a couple more minutes left. If anybody's got any other questions, drop those in the chat. And I have two while we're waiting to see if anybody's got others.
Okay.
We do a couple things on our website that I want to ask you if it's okay if we added to, because I love the GROW acronym. Do you care if we add that to our behavior rubrics?
Not at all. Go ahead.
Okay, that one's a good one. And then house names with the bears. Big fan of that.
Thank you.
But yeah, if we got any other questions, drop them in the chat. We'll wait around just for a second or two. Here shortly after we finish, we will be sending slides and the recording. Looks like we did have a good one. Oh, so we had a question. Any tips for a virtual school?
Any tips for a virtual? That's a good question. Do y'all do drive-throughs or anything like that? Because I know we were virtual. That was like the main thing we were using. So that we were when they came to the drive-through, we gave them incentives that way. Do y'all do that?
No, we are part of K-12. So we are virtual all the time.
Okay.
And the thing that makes it even more challenging is, I mean, we're K through 12, and you're looking at like 15,000 students, kindergarten through 12th grade. So we're huge. So live school it's been good for us to a certain degree, but we're just trying to figure out like the best way for it to work for our school. So I was just curious if you guys had any tips or ideas.
That is a good question. I guess I would think that it would be like some no work time or some, because, you know, they're always trying to toggle into a different screen anyway. So maybe they can earn a pass to actually do that the right way. But that is something I need to think about. Yeah, that's a good question. Thank you. Or go into a special break room for a movie or something like that. I know we try to do that during quarantine, where they would come and watch a movie together. And like I said, they had their own snacks. It was like a pajama day, and we all watched the movie together. So maybe you could have some passes or use their points to spend on passes like that. Like you get a break from class today, you can go to the party room. Maybe that can work.
So have you seen a correlation between this program and your school climate, test scores, attendance?
Oh, absolutely. These kids are here every day. They are here every single day. And I can tell you that even looking at our data when it comes to referrals, that has decreased dramatically. And like I said, you can tell from the students the way that they're talking and how they feel about different incentives and the things that are going on. They're looking forward to these things. I'm the administrator for 7th grade, and I legit have 10 kids that are constantly in my office. So I know that it's working.
Okay. We did have one more from Monica Deal. She asked, do you do any other forms of fundraising aside from donations?
Oh, well, I'm always doing fundraisers, always, because I'm a coach as well. So I'm always doing fundraisers. Right now, we're doing the Smart Card fundraiser. I attempted to do the Double Good fundraiser. I'm just trying to get past the popcorn. I'm trying to get through that. But all of those things, the school dance that I'm having next week, that is a fundraiser. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah. So the students actually pay real money for the dance, but that money goes right back into student incentives. So I did one in the fall, I'm doing one in the spring. But any type of like candy bar fundraisers or any fundraisers that naturally work for you, we give back to student incentives. So it's either going to student incentives or it's going to student field trips. So it's all circling back around. Yes.
And I think this will be our last question, but Casey had a great question.
Mm-hmm.
What program do you use for the point tracking?
Live school, of course. Hell yeah, live school is tracking our points, of course. Absolutely. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much, Vanessa. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Like I said, we'll send out slides and recording later this evening. We appreciate y'all's time. Vanessa, we certainly appreciate you. Thank you.
No, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me all the way from Australia. That's amazing. Thank you so much. Appreciate y'all being here. Bye.
All right. See you guys.